Hello, wonderful people! How's everything coming together? I hope you're all feeling good today. And before we tackle the topic about pregnancy and the miracles I've experienced about pregnancy, let me introduce myself first. I'm Peñoza Maripel, 29 years old, asking you to please lend me your ears for a moment and allow me to share with you how I experienced God's miracles, especially on my pregnancy time or journey. Life is indeed full of miracles. Being born in this wonderful world is a miracle in itself. Isn't it amazing how a female's body is capable of growing a child inside her womb? I think it is very fascinating. Pregnancy is a miracle. It is a gift from God. But what would you do if at a very young age you find out you've got a disease that could jeopardize the chances of getting pregnant in the future? And it was not just an ordinary sickness. I was 16 years of age when I was diagnosed with stage 3 ovarian cancer. Can you imagine how a young girl deals with such devastating news? Yes, it was a very shocking moment of my life, and it was very scary. The doctor told us that I have to undergo chemotherapy. I heard that chemotherapy would kill both good and bad cells, and it comes with numerous side effects. And I heard most of the time it didn't work. It would financially drain my family as well. So I decided not to undergo such treatment, and I surrendered my life to our beloved God. I was so lucky that I have a very loving and caring family during those painful times of mine. There are times that I reach out the point that I want to give up, but my family never gave up on me. We've tried alternative treatments because I was afraid at the time that I've been operated at a very young age, but it made it worse. The condition of my health changed my physical appearance, specifically in my stomach area. My stomach grew so big that I looked like I was more than 9 months pregnant. I received a lot of judgments from people. Some people even laughed at me. The only thing that we're holding on to is our prayers. A lot of prayers together with my loving and supporting family who never get tired of taking care of me. We fought my cancer together, and they never left my side. We put God in the center of our life. After a few years with my condition, the doctor conducted an operation to remove one of my ovary that had a cyst, which is cancerous. I was fully aware that the operation might cause me to become infertile, but I had no choice. I had to survive. Few months after the operation, my stomach got smaller and became normal again. And I can see that my health is getting back on track. At the age of 21, I got married. Even though I had a very slim chance of getting pregnant, we still keep trying to have a baby. 5 years of trying. Can you imagine? 5 years of trying, but we didn't have a luck. I prayed to our beloved God to give us a child, even just one child. We almost give up on trying, and it actually affects our marriage. And then one time, I ran across a documentary talking about teenage pregnancy. I thought about how these young girls got pregnant so easily, and they probably didn't really want it in the first place. I found myself comparing to their situation. I know it's not a good habit, but I can't help it. How come the least greedy ones are the ones who are able to conceive a child? I know it sounds like I am judging their situation, but what kind of future do these young girls give to their kids? How can a child themselves raise another child? Would they be able to provide the basic needs of the baby? As the number of teenage pregnancy cases had rapidly increased in the past few years, I was wondering, what might have caused these girls to do such a thing? Is it a lack of knowledge? Or a lack of guidance from parents? Or maybe both, we don't know. Pregnancy is part of life, but having to deal with it at a very young age has negative effects. It will take away the girl's bright future and it will worsen the poverty in our country. I understand very well that peer pressure is also a contributing factor, so is lack of education. And most girls who got impregnated at a very young age were living in the community where teenage pregnancy is considered normal. We should never ever normalize teenage pregnancy. And some of the girls are aware that they are not capable of raising a child and they end up either aborting the baby or putting it up for adoption. We have to change that kind of mindset. We all have to be aware of the possible consequences of our irresponsible actions. The government can solve this problem without our cooperation. And then an idea came into my mind. What if we adopt a child? It's a good idea, right? What do you think? I actually did consider that idea, but our marriage fell apart. My husband was drifting away from me. I tried to save our marriage and even convinced him that we can have a child and it would repair our broken relationship. And then we continued trying to conceive a child. But then just one day, he left. And so he could be together with his lover. I tried to stay strong. Life must go on with or without him. A week after he left, I had to get an X-ray examination for my job. Few days after the examination, I found out that I was pregnant. Upon confirming that I am indeed bearing a child, my happiness was immeasurable. It was a feeling money can't buy. I know a lot of mothers out there who can relate what I felt that time. And then, I got so worried that the X-ray might have a negative effect on my baby. My happiness was replaced with worries. But then I remind myself to stay positive for the sake of the baby inside my womb. I prayed to God that the baby would be fine and healthy. I informed my ex-husband that our prayer was finally heard and that I am finally got pregnant. But our marriage was beyond repair. And though we're men married by law and papers, but we never get back together. I continue my pregnancy journey without him. I studied things about pregnancy and what food to eat during pregnancy. I learned that I have to cut down my rice intake and ditch soda drinks as well. Fish and vegetables were my main diet during my pregnancy. I also tried to stay away from stress and toxic environment. I even played classical music right next to my baby bump every night because I read an article that said it would make the child smarter. Pregnancy was not an easy road, but it gave me a pleasant feeling. Few months to go, and I would finally see my baby. On my last prenatal checkup, before labor date, I had a high blood pressure, so I was referred to deliver the baby to a hospital. The day of my delivery, the doctor gave me shots to lower my blood pressure. I can't have a normal delivery unless my blood pressure goes back to normal. But the doctor has been giving multiple shots already for 2 days, and yet my blood pressure never goes down. It was a very critical situation since the child had to be out soon or else it would put me and my child into grave danger. The doctor decided to conduct a cesarean operation. They have to recut my scars from my previous operation. And the operation went well, and as I was carrying my son in my arms, my happiness was through the roof. I experienced the warmth of being a mother. Bearing a child for 9 months was not an easy journey, and yet it was very rewarding in the end. I now understand what mothers went through just to bring children in this world. Mothers had sacrificed so much for their children, and most often it was taken for granted. Mothers deserve to be appreciated and loved. So let's give our full love and show to them the gratitude of carrying us for 9 months and for their unconditional love. Salute to all mothers out there. And that's all. Thank you for listening and watching. Have a great day.